As the state of West Bengal there inches closer to the assembly polls in just months to come, here we're looking at the political stage heating up to an extent where it seems like there could be some serious repercussions. The centre versus Mamata Banerjee face-off there continues over the attack on BJP President JP Nadda's convoy. This happened on Thursday during his visit to Diamond Harbour, which is a stronghold of Mamata Banerjee. The centre has now come in, removed the 3 IPS officers from Nadda's security and sent them to central deputation. Now, this is all, the centre has also summoned Bengal's top cop and Chief Secretary. TMC has now slammed the Modi government, claiming this is vendetta politics. This is the state's subject, but the centre is interfering only in a bid to destabilize the Mamata Banerjee government ahead of polls. Let's take a listen to this report.
The Bengal Showdown is only getting fiercer. The war of words continues over the attack on BJP President JP Nadda's convoy in Diamond Harbour on Thursday. Modi government seems in no mood to relent over the alleged lapses in Nadda's security. MHA has removed 3 IPS officers who were responsible for the BJP president's security during his Bengal visit and deputed them to central posts. Slamming the move, TMC claimed that centre is terrorising the officers by creating pressure and a state of emergency in Bengal.
The IAS or IPS officers are given allotted states. They are made state cadres. They may go to the centre on deputation, but the centre has to ask for names from the state government and then the state has to give them clarification. So what is being said is not right.
So unless the state releases them, they can't go on.
No, they can't go.
The Home Ministry has also summoned Bengal Chief Secretary and the DGP on December 14 to discuss the law and order in the state. The Mamata government has challenged this move, writing to Union Home Secretary and claiming vendetta politics. TMC says law and order is a state subject and the centre has no jurisdiction over it.
Under no law in the Indian Constitution, under no law, repeat, can the Home Secretary bypass the Chief Minister and summon the Chief Secretary and the DGP of a state. It is completely unconstitutional and against the federal structure.
BJP though claims centre is well within its right to summon the officials.
ममता बनर्जी हर टाइम जब विरोधी नेत्री थे उस टाइम क्यों बार-बार को चीफ मिनिस्टर को बार-बार अगेंस्ट में बार-बार सीबीआई चाहिए करके चिल्ला रहा था। पहले ये बात बोलिए, हमारा केंद्रीय सचिव को 100% क्षमता है राज्य सचिव और आपका डीजीपी को बुलाने के लिए।
Both the Bengal Chief Secretary and DGP have sought exemption from the summons on Monday, stating that there were no lapses on their part. The West Bengal Chief Secretary in his reply to centre said that the police have registered 3 FIRs under which 7 have already been arrested. But the Bengal governor in his report to centre had claimed that the security protocol was violated during Nadda's visit.
Governance by Mamata Banerjee is getting increasingly distanced from rule of law and constitution. I have been cautioning her. There are 3 aspects that are indeed very worrisome.
While the future of the 3 Bengal cadre IPS officers hangs in balance, it has become the latest flashpoint between the central government and the Trinamool Congress-run Mamata Banerjee government here in West Bengal. The Trinamool Congress maintains that such unilateral action against the 3 IPS officers amounts to threatening and intimidating state bureaucrats who are working as part of the West Bengal government. With camera person Praveen Biswas, Indrajit for India Today in Kolkata.
Let me take you through the guests joining us. Of course, Indrajit Kundu has been reporting this situation very closely, reporting live from Kolkata. Apart from that, we have Priyanka Tibrewal, spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. We have Touseef Ahmed, who's a political analyst. Now, since we don't have a TMC spokesperson joining us, I'd like to go straight to Priyanka Tibrewal, spokesperson of the BJP. Priyanka, this is an allegation that's been made. Of course, it was an ugly situation. What happened was not right. Nothing can be no one can justify the attack on JP Nadda's convoy. But one would say, a critic would say that BJP has mastered the art of instigating a ruling government where they are not in power, and then eventually coming down heavy on them. Take us through what the BJP sentiments are with regards to pulling up 3 of the IPS officers, moving them out, which is not in their jurisdiction, and beyond that, summoning the Chief Secretary and the DGP again with overruling the Chief Minister. This is high-handedness is what is the allegation here.
Not at all. See, the centre is well within its right to call the DGP and to question when there is this lawlessness, which is, of course, visible, and all of us, the entire nation has witnessed that yesterday. Whatever happened, that is, I mean, I was aghast. And it is such an horrifying situation. Now they speak of the federal structure, but also let me say, even though we all know that law and order is a state subject, but there has been failure. State has failed to perform its duties. And when there was a Z security, which is there with Nadda ji, how can that security, I mean, why shouldn't the centre question that when the centre had said that this security system should prevail when there are protocols, why did the West Bengal government fail? See, initially the Chief Minister said that there was no intimation. She did not even know that Nadda ji is travelling to Kolkata, right? She lied on the first day. And the second day, the Chief Secretary says that complete security was taken care of and adequate security was there. So who was lying? Was the Chief Minister lying the previous day or the Principal Secretary lying the other day? So we have to understand the facts. And then again, I will repeat.
Not anyone is opposing the fact that they should be questioned, but there are legit channels to question the West Bengal government. But overruling the Chief Minister and the respectives in the West Bengal government, pulling up the DGP and the Chief Secretary to summoning them is something that is not in the centre's jurisdiction. Apart from that, Z plus security that you spoke of JP Nadda, despite him having Z plus security, you had public all around him. Which were BJP party workers, which is also not allowed for a person with Z plus security.
See, when BJP worked, it was a BJP convoy, it was his convoy, and there were BJP workers along with him. But I would also like to question this, that people, those who are talking about this today, were they blind? They didn't see that, okay, when you are talking about Z security, they didn't know that a person is moving with Z security. Why did they have thousands of people on the roads? What was the police doing? Police was there.
TMC workers and farmers have been protesting earlier to Nadda's visit for 7 days against the farm laws. I'm sure the intelligence reports of the BJP would have suggested that there is a spot where the convoy could get blocked because there are thousands of them who've been protesting for 7 days. It was not that they landed right on that day.
No such reports were given from West Bengal. No such reports were given from West Bengal.
Right.
So, see, again, I will repeat, this was very much in the knowledge of the West Bengal government that Nadda ji is going to Diamond Harbour. And this was a premeditated attack. They had planned it. This was pre-planned. And this cannot happen. Who is emboldening this confidence in the people to do this? This has never happened in the history. This is unprecedented. This kind of a move and attack has never ever happened in India. So this goes without saying that this cannot happen without the confidence which the people had from the government.
Right. Touseef Ahmed Khan, undoubtedly the TMC has miserably failed. This is an information given to the West Bengal government that JP Nadda will be arriving. A convoy will be carried out. This is TMC's stronghold. So we know that if anybody has displayed high-handedness, this could be TMC party workers itself, because this is their home turf. JP Nadda coming in there, BJP has failed to make inroads in that region. This was precisely the reason why JP Nadda was put into a proper campaign rally in that region. Yet, it seems like Mamata Banerjee deliberately did not take cognizance of the fact that this could be a massive rally, because we've seen what happened in Hyderabad as well. BJP has garnered that kind of clout. Undoubtedly, they have that kind of fanfare. So it's a no-brainer that there could result in clashes. And with the history that the TMC has of attacks on BJP workers, this could be a way to have proven themselves right this time, if anything.
You see, the duty of the state government was to provide the bulletproof vehicle and the pilot, which was provided. The duty of the state government was to provide adequate police bandobast, which was provided in the entire route. Exact number has been already given in the press conference. It was the duty of the BJP then to also inform the state government that in the convoy of JP Nadda, they would be carrying a very notorious criminal, a criminal who had 59 cases registered against him, and a criminal who is a convict.
Who is this criminal you're talking about?
Mr. Rakesh Singh.
Okay.
And that Mr. Rakesh Singh was going to get out of the car and was going to make gestures, and he was going to instigate the crowd which was standing there.
So you're saying BJP's Rakesh Singh got out of the convoy, came and instigated the TMC crowds, which eventually resulted in clashes. Is that what you're trying to say?
There is a video which shows that he was making gestures. It is on record.
When you say gestures, what kind of gestures?
Why was this? And that was a provocation. Why should there be a provocation to the crowd?
Where did the bricks come from? Where did the bricks come from all of a sudden? If they were not prepared, if this was not pre-planned.
Where did the brick come from?
Not one or two Touseef. On the video we can see hundreds of people on the roads who were pelting stones and bricks, not just stones. Not just stones.
There were protesters. There were protesters who were protesting against farm laws. But who brought the criminals?
They knew exactly what to do. They had been prepared to do such things. And again, I will say,
who brought the criminals? Who gave the signal?
Without there being involvement from the government. They had the audacity to do this because they knew that they have the support of government in doing this.
All right, let me put you on hold. Let me go over to, of course, our non-biased opinion here. Our reporter joining us who's been witness to all of this, Indrajit Kundu, you've been tracking this. If you can take us through what exactly happened. Was this a premeditated attack by the TMC? They had bricks in dozens. It seemed like they were ready to attack if instigated. I mean, whether instigated or not, considering that they had their bricks ready, it doesn't seem like they needed much to hurl.
Well, Nabila, as the BJP guest just said that this is an unprecedented event, let me categorically say that there is several incidents and several precedents of such attacks happening in West Bengal. In fact, this has become a common norm, such violence. So not unprecedented at all, nothing which was not expected. So this is on expected lines because of the kind of surcharge atmosphere that we see on the ground here in West Bengal. Now, if you ask me, facts on the ground, I was there at the place yesterday to take stock of the situation. There has been provocation from the BJP side. There has been violence from the Trinamool side. Both sides party to this entire, imbroglio that has now landed up and
is it true, Indrajit, that they had bricks ready, the TMC side?
Well, the visuals speak for themselves. There were brick bats, there were bricks that were thrown, stones that were pelted at the convoy. We have got visuals to show that. Yes, there was a BJP leader called Rakesh Singh who came out of his car. He was waving his hands and seemed like provocative gestures, which may have provoked some of the people who were already standing there as part of an anti-farm bill protest. So both sides erring on their part, because the question, of course, is that if Mr. Nadda had a Z+ category security, what was it that so many bike-borne BJP supporters were accompanying his convoy, which is clearly a flouting of the protocol.
Right.
At the same time, as far as the police bandobast is concerned, there was police bandobast, but there should have been more police, considering the fact that the Trinamool Congress was holding a rally there and the state administration must have definitely known since morning.
This is exactly what the BJP spokesperson claims, that the intelligence did not inform the BJP that there was already a spot which was holding a protest. The TMC workers were protesting against the farm laws. The BJP was not aware and they headed towards exactly that direction. Where's the failure here?
Well, it seems like, this entire narrative has fit into place for the BJP, because the BJP has been hitting out at the Trinamool Congress regime and the Trinamool Congress government over law and order failure. And we can see when this entire thing happened, and if at all there was provocation as being alleged by the Trinamool Congress, and as is visible in many of the footages that have been we have. It clearly shows that the BJP would like to create a narrative that there was complete law and order situation. At the same time, it is the onus on the state government as well to maintain some semblance of order in this entire situation. Why did Trinamool Congress workers go out of bound, even if there were some sort of provocation?
Absolutely.
Nothing gives them the right to pelt stones at opposition party workers. That's something which has to be kept in mind as well.
Right. Indrajit, do stay with us. Whether this is an attempt by the BJP to instigate or not, the TMC should have been prepared, because it is their home turf. It is the BJP as an opposition inevitably will try their best to try and instigate to get some scoop out to show them in bad light. It's the assembly election season. It's due to happen. But the Mamata government should have been prepared. And you did mention that there's several incidents of violence that have been reported in the recent past itself. That seems quite disturbing. If I can take that to Touseef. Touseef, West Bengal is boiling, and these are repercussions that are irreversible. People have lost their lives. Several BJP workers have been attacked. So what is this? Are you not able to bear? Is the TMC not able to bear the rise in West Bengal of the BJP? It can't be Mamata Banerjee's turf all along. It's a democracy. If people are wanting the BJP there, if they are giving them that kind of room, why is the TMC aggressive?
I completely agree with you that it is the duty of Mamata Banerjee government to maintain law and order. But will you not agree with me that it is also the duty of the BJP leaders to not disturb the peace, to not take law in their hand, not to use provocative and violent speeches?
What is provocative and what is violent? Is Jai Shri Ram provocative? Are you saying Jai Shri Ram is provocative?
No. Dilip Ghosh on record has said that go and beat Trinamool workers. Dilip Ghosh has said that Trinamool worker will be sent to hospital. Trinamool worker will be sent to Samshan. Dilip Ghosh has said this. Go and beat police personnel.
At the same time, TMC workers have attacked. There are reports of TMC workers attacking BJP workers. Several of them lost their lives.
She will be worried about her security. Dilip Ghosh has said that we will take Badla. Dilip Ghosh is threatening to turn Bengal into Badlapur. What sort of language is the state BJP chief indulging into? Does the state BJP chief has all the right to
So what I'm trying to say is, again, see, whatever he's saying, he is getting encircled in what he's saying. Now he's saying that since they were provoked, so they were prepared. So they were prepared for violence. That is the entire thing. That is the fact which I'm saying. That they were prepared to attack.
That you will condemn. I expected that you will condemn the statement of Dilip Ghosh. No one is condemning the statement made by Dilip Ghosh.
Touseef, I was quiet when you were speaking, right? Now please let me make my point.
No, you were not.
What I'm trying to say is that they are resorting to such violence. Now today itself this has happened in Kolkata. This is a new normal for them. This pelting of stones has again happened today in South Kolkata, where Trinamool has pelted stones. And not just that, look at their audacity. They encircled the entire police station for more than 3 hours. The Kasbah police station, more than 500 armed men, and the police couldn't do anything about it.
It is, you see,
it was all BJP in the news today. It was all over in the news today. So now this has become the new normal.
BJP cannot raise a real issue to fight this election.
It comes down to the sentiment and the narrative made by the leadership. Eventually it comes down to the narrative that's meted out by the leadership itself. I'm going to cut across to Mamata Banerjee when she spoke about JP Nadda and of course Amit Shah coming into West Bengal and their presence in the vicinity there. She's quite sure that this is a TMC stronghold and nobody can shake her or shake the government. Let's take a listen to that tone and tenor with which she spoke.
কোনদিন একটা চিফ মিনিস্টার চলে আসছে, কাজ নেই তো কিছু, লোকের কাজ করে না। কোনদিন হোম মিনিস্টার চলে আসছে, কোনদিন ওই আরেকটা মিনিস্টার চলে আসছে, কোনদিন চারটা নাড্ডা ফাড্ডা ভাড্ডা গাড্ডা সব চলে আসছে একটা করে, আর তারা একা প্রধান প্রধান কেউ করে না। আর যেদিন তারা প্রোগ্রাম করবে লোক যদি না আসে তাহলে নিজে সাজিয়ে রাখবে যাতে নটঙ্কি করে ন্যাশনাল নিউজে ভালো করে দেখায় দেখো আমরা মেরেছি আরে তোমার পেছনে 50 টাকাই কেন যায়?
All right, so this is what Mamata Banerjee has said. On one side, you have Dilip Ghosh making some really hard, provocative statements. On the other, you have the government, the chief minister there, making a statement like that, which doesn't really go down too well if you're really trying to maintain law and order situation. You're already looking at a charged environment in West Bengal. Clearly, the BJP and the TMC don't get along, and they have some really hard opposing facts. Now, quick word from Indrajit there. Indrajit, it all comes down to legal procedure. And that, over here, it seems like the centre or the BJP there has been displaying quite some audacity with pulling up, summoning their chief secretary and the DGP of West Bengal without the information of, without any notice given to the chief minister. Also, the 3 IPS officers of West Bengal responsible for Nadda's security have been removed. They've been placed in the centre. Now, the actions here, of course, have surpassed what actually the constitution provides. So, take us through the details there. How has been the reaction on that front?
Well, Nabila, what we are seeing is competitive one-upmanship, political one-upmanship from both the sides. The centre trying to quote-unquote summon 2 of the topmost bureaucrats, the chief secretary and the DGP of West Bengal, which the Trinamool Congress claims is complete, non-jurisdiction. It's not within their purview because law and order is a state subject. At the same time, 3 IPS officers being asked to get onto central deployment. At the same time, we don't really know as to what is the fate of these 3 IPS officers because currently they're posted as Bengal cadres and they have not yet been given NOC by the state government. They still have a state government job posted in the State Department. So we don't know what happens there. But clearly one-upmanship happening on both the sides with the Ministry of Home Affairs suddenly becoming very active.
But
and the
political constitutional experts there in the JIT have said that this can't be done. Am I right? And if
well, that's what being claimed from certain sectors. We'll have to wait and see because that's a grey area because we haven't seen something of that sort happening in recent years. So we'll have to wait and see as to how this
Let me
thing
take that to
pans
Touseef.
out.
Touseef, any reaction coming in from the TMC on that now that the 3 IPS officers have been removed and your chief secretary has been summoned without Mamata Banerjee's approval?
You see, Home Ministry is working under an impression that India is under undeclared emergency and that constitutional provision do not apply so far as the Home Ministry is concerned. Because under no provision of law can the Home Secretary summon the IAS and IPS officers. You see, when IAS, IPS officers are allotted under the cadre, it can be state cadre, it can be union territory cadre, or it can be a group of state cadres. If you want to bring them on deputation to center, you need to ask the state to nominate. There has been that procedure has not been followed. How can the Home Ministry surpass that stage and just call IAS, IPS officers just like that as if there is no constitution? It is only if they think that constitution does not apply. The strength of the Home Ministry there,
you believe that the Ministry of Home Affairs have shown its might and using its power, summoning those in power in West Bengal, superseding Mamata Banerjee. This hasn't gone down too well with the TMC, so the war they're escalating. A quick word from Priyanka as I wrap here.
See, the government here is completely arbitrary and capricious in approach. I'm telling you that instead of taking stern actions on such movement, what are they doing? They're making farcical arguments. See, truth billows and lies whimper, and this is what is happening. If she's so honest, if she's so true, and if she was not involved in this kind of a violence, why is she so afraid? Why is she so scared? Because I again repeat myself, this has not happened without the government giving support.
Right, we got the point there, Priyanka. Thank you very much for joining us. Touseef, thank you for joining us. Of course, Indrajit Kondu, observing the developments. It seems like the political stage heating up to an extent where we're seeing some impactful reactions coming in. Of course, West Bengal Assembly polls in just a few months' time. It's going to be interesting to see what the turnout would be. Thank you for watching.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.